self-improvement, it may more accurately be called, is all the rage at the moment. You've got self-help books, practically sell themselves in the shops. There's countless number of them. 10 ways to do X, Y, Z better. Okay, you've got podcasts with life hacks that have millions of downloads. We want to have a better life. We want to eat healthier. We want to exercise more consistently. We want to just be better in our profession, in our personal life. And one of the key themes is we want more money. I'm no exception. In fact, I was kind of obsessed for a certain amount of time with self-improvement. My Kindle library is filled with books about how to be successful in life. And while I'm driving my new car, I like to listen to podcasts about how to be better, how to be more productive, and how to make me grow as a person. I'm sort of engrossed with every single type of self-improvement. We think about being better in the context of thinking about it making us happy. However, to a certain extent, self-improvement does make us happy, but it can have the drawbacks. The reason why it makes us happy is because we end up maybe being physically healthier. We end up with a clearer mind. We make the correct decisions. We're working more effectively. We're getting more done. We have more time to spend on a thing like our hobbies, and resultingly developing ourselves more. And when we adopt a healthier mental attitude, we're more prone to not sort of get disrupted by maybe minor annoyances. However, from my own experience and the experience of others, self-improvement and constantly improving the productivity can have a toxic downside. We can get caught in the grind of self-improvement, forgetting why we are doing it in the first place. We say things like, oh, imagine how you would feel if you had six-pack abs. You would be so happy. Oh, I wish my side business could earn me £1,000 extra per month. Does that sound familiar at all? Sometimes we think being good enough in a certain aspect of life will eventually end up making us happy. We toil and we slog, and the desire to sort of go up the summit sort of beckons us. We'll think that we'll be happy once that we reach this final goal. We'll think there's a certain goal in life I need to reach. The notion implies that we're not allowed to be happy until we reach that goal. We defer happiness. We maybe write in a journal something we might buy ourselves or a treat when we reach that particular goal. We give ourselves permission to be miserable along the journey. And when we finally reach that goal, we feel joy. We buy ourselves that treat, that thing we held off. We celebrate it. We're glad that all the work we've done has paid off. But sooner or later, that delight that we feel wears off. We return to our normal state. We go back to our journal or our application that we use on our phone. And we write down another goal. We push harder, thinking the next goal, when I reach that goal, then I'll be happy. Or it'll at least make me happier. The goalpost has moved yet again. About 5 years ago, in my own personal life, I suppose you could describe it as I was miserable. I was working at a job that I really just didn't like. I had no real friends. I was bitter, probably because I felt in myself I was underpaid for the work that I did. I thought that when I earned more money, I'd be happier. So I worked hard. I went back to university to pursue my dream job. I polished my technical skills. I worked on some of my soft skills. And during that period, I was what you could describe as a self-improvement zealot. It was all about being better. To be honest, I did become better. And as a result, I started a side hustle, as they like to call it on the podcast, that paid me about 20% more than that sort of original thing. I went back to university, and it was a sweet release. I was on top of the world. And then the familiar feeling started to creep back in of inadequacy, needing to set another goal. As a reflex, I just set another goal and I was chasing it yet again. It was then I realised the complete absurdity of what I was doing. Not because I was chasing another goal, but because of the feelings I was trying to avoid. The toxic assumption that I was good enough, that I wasn't good enough in my business at university, and I needed to be better, and then I would be happier. I realised that I was using self-fulfillment as a plaster to cover up things that deeply mattered to me and things that I probably needed to work on. And that issues couldn't be simply solved by becoming more productive. I was riding the self-improvement train. It was important to ask myself what was the real reason behind all of that. And it's important to ask myself that every single day. Are you doing this because you're waiting and you're thinking, at a certain point, when I become good at public speaking, I will be happy, there'll be no problems? And in conclusion, I think that when we pursue certain things, we need to look at the reason why we're doing these things. And often we can use self-improvement to hide the things that we really should be working on. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.